I'm go crazy. What's up, zombie? Get this shared out quick. Holy Ethan, Zombie, Jim F, Tom T in the hizzy. What's going on, brother? Hope everything is going well for you guys. Hope it's been a incredible half week so far. Happy hump day. Who's your favorite baseball team? We'll get into that. I will answer your question first once we get a few more people in here. So, Zombie, I did get your email. I haven't really had a chance to read it, but I saw it. This week has been insane for me with work. I'm probably going to be putting in a record week in sales, which is awesome. I think I got 36 sales in so far, and I still got tomorrow and basically Friday morning. Buckeye Carnot, the man I get to see live, do a live mail day. I guess I must have created that. The live mail day for Buckeye. But I'm excited, man. Cool. It's nothing really that big. I just, figured it'd be a card that you would enjoy. So, and you can open your other mail as well. So, I think it'll be fun. It'll be cool. It'd be cool to see you just do one live, too. Because, like you say, you always film them and then upload them. So this way you're going to get that interaction. Question. Do you have, Buckeye, have you figured out, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So, do you have Streamlabs or something downloaded? And because if you're not at 1,000 subs, you're not going to be able to do it just right through YouTube. So you're going to have to do it through like Streamlabs. I would download the app Streamlabs right now if you don't have it on your phone. And it's really simple to do. Once you download it, when you open it up, when it's downloaded, what's up, Big Arv? Truth. It's going to ask you what app or what thing are you going to use? YouTube, Twitch, etc. Select YouTube, and then it's going to have you log in. So it's going to link to your YouTube thing. And then there's just a little live button to go live. There's a couple other apps if that for some reason doesn't work for you. But I think we can figure it out. Can you text it to me? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can do that. I'll do it after the stream. Yeah, make sure you get all that set up. I wasn't even thinking about that because are you gonna do it through your phone or a computer? If you do it through a computer webcam, you don't need 1,000 subs. But if you do it mobily, you'll need another app signed through YouTube to be able to do it, not having 1,000 subs. So, all right, awesome. I'm gonna let a couple more people filter in here. Just say my hellos. What do I owe you from last night? Big Harvest as well. Let me see here, brother. Probably not much, being it was dollar. So basically $2. Just cover the shipping. $3. $3. I'm gonna give you these cards. I gave just about everybody that bought or went to buy at least a card or two, even if they didn't get the freebie. So I sent you a text. Look at it. All right, Balls wants me to look at a text quick. No way, Mo Vaughn? Dude, guys, check this out. Mo Vaughn autographing. I mean, he must be being in cards again. I'm definitely going to have to get a Mo Vaughn new auto card of his. That's crazy. For Tops. Must be doing some autos and Tops. What's up, Ricky? Jim F. No worries, man. Jim, it was an awesome stream. We went for about 2 hours, but we went heavy for 2 hours selling dollar cards. People got crazy hella deals. I had a Kobe White optic rated rookie. I mean, his stuff's starting to go up right now. That was in the dollar card sales. We had a bunch of different auto relics. I mean, not like huge names or anything, but most of it, again, was courtesy of Mr. Matthew Balls, my man who sent a bunch of cards to sell off in it for the dollar. Yeah, Mo Vaughn doing autos, man, for a new product. That's super exciting. Tops. I'm going to have to figure out what it is. So, Balls, I think I got an extra Kobe. I can just send you in your next mail day. Not a big deal. I always forget Bulls. I'm always just thinking Bears for you, like Bears and your boy Jacob. Move on my lawn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, hobbyist? The card hobbyist. Isaac's in the house. Good to see you, my brother. So I'm going to just start getting into it. But before we get into the questions and answers, and I know I have a question I already have to answer, and I'm going to do that after I get into my little piece. Ethan and stuff 123 asked, "What's my favorite baseball team?" I guess I'll answer that before I go into my thing, and then if you guys have any certain questions you have that you want to ask me, it can be personal, it can be about sports, about the hobby, it can be about my addiction. It can really be just about anything. I mean, anything goes when I do these. Anything goes. So anything that you guys want to know from me, I'll give you my best answer, my opinion, my personal experience, whatever it might be. So, to answer his question, and then I'm going to go into something before we start the Q&A. So, Ethan's question, what's my favorite baseball team? I live in Minnesota. I grew up in Minnesota. I've been in Minnesota my whole life. So, my favorite baseball team is definitely going to be the Minnesota Twins. It's nice because through my time of being 42 years old, I've actually got to see them in multiple World Series, which has been very cool. I can't say that same thing about my Vikings, that I've been alive, that I've been able to see or watch them being a part of the championship game. But the Twins they've had a lot of good successful runs throughout the years. Actually been a very solid organization, I feel, as a whole, for how kind of cheap we are or have been. We're trying to change that with the new staff and whatever that's involved. We're not as afraid to spend money, and I know we're not a big market team, so we can't be spending money like Yankees per se, or any New York team or anyone like that. But it's nice to see. It's a breath of fresh air to see them continue to build and get better. Yeah, Joe Mauer, that's a cool story. A lot of you guys may know the name, and Ethan, you're a little bit younger. I'm sure you know who Joe Mauer is. If you can educate yourself a little bit more about him, about who he was, obviously he was a catcher for the Twins, played his whole career here, etc. But he actually grew up here. Kind of a lot of the stuff he's done for the organization, within the organization. There's a lot of things you can learn about anybody. And I guess that's part of what I want to tie into before we get into the Q&A, now that I answered his question, because this is a perfect segue, kind of. But, so I just said to, like, Ethan or anyone in here that doesn't really know a lot about Joe Mauer, that there's a lot we can learn about somebody, right? And I challenge you, some of you that have your favorite sports players, within whatever sport it is, baseball, football, basketball, hockey, any kind of sport, racing, some may say that's not a sport, but anything that you're really into, I challenge you guys to get to know more about those people that you are fans of, that you love. And some of you may know a ton about them. Some of you may know anything and everything about them. When they were born, what city they grew up in, what high school they went to, were they always really into that specific sport that they played? Was that really what they liked to do? But get to know more about them, not just them as a ball player, an athlete. Try to get to know the person a little bit better, even if you don't have that or get that ability to, have conversations with them one-on-one. There's a lot of information out there that is very useful, especially with the internet in today's world, where you can get to know them a little bit more. Maybe have some fun facts of things that you learn about them, that you can use in your streams, or you can use when you're hanging out with buddies and say, hey, did you know so-and-so? Did you know that so-and-so actually did this back in, whatever, in high school? He played football, and he was like an all-American linebacker, but he's actually a baseball player. He's a professional baseball player now. Like, get to know people. I guess, like I always say, I always use the word get to know people, understand people. And I guess that's really the big reason why I do these Q&As, is because, one, I'm not afraid to open up. I'm not afraid to. I put everything out on the table for you guys. I'll let you guys in on a lot of my personal life. I'll let you guys in on a lot of what I have going on, what I've gone through, whatever. And I want you guys to understand me more. I want you guys to know more about me than just the guy who likes to collect cards, part of the hobby, likes to stream on YouTube, whatever. I want you guys to know more about me. I want you on a more personal level. Because, again, I've always told you guys that I don't look at you guys as, per se, subscribers. That word may be used sometimes when I'm saying we need to get this number. And I think a lot of times I'll put a number and I won't even say we need to get to this. But I always tell you guys that, like, when I get new guys in here, I want to get to know them. I want to try to get to know them a little bit better if I can. I want to try to put a name. If they got a YouTube name that's not really their name, their own name, I want to get to know their name, their first name, who they are, right? I want them to be friends. I don't want them to just be subscriber supporters. I would like to ask you, I do not have any grape poupon, but I bet my sister does upstairs. What up, DD? Did you know before being drafted out of high school by the Royals, Jonas was headed to NC State to play? See, man, and that's the kind of stuff, like, Ball's just put there, and Mill City says he's very partial to all catchers. Mauer struck out just one time in his 4 years of high school ball. You guys might have to refresh. My internet's being poopy right now. But knowing those facts, you guys, knowing things about these people. All right, cool, man. So now, Buckeye, go in there. It should ask you what you're going to use. Like YouTube, Twitch. Click on YouTube. It's going to ask you to log in, probably authorize, whatever. Make sure it'll connect, and then try to do a test live. There should be a little live button or a little button you press on the screen. And make sure you have your phone like this and not like this. So it's wide, horizontal. And you should just be able to tap on the screen anywhere. If it's facing you and you want it to face the other way, the camera, you should just be able to tap on it. Like, tap, and it should do it. So, what do you think about Heritage? I probably read more about athletes than I do watch. Nice, Austin. And see, that's awesome. Wait, someone actually does. Yeah, I think my sister does. Grey Poupon, my brother-in-law loves that stuff. What did you think about the Heritage? I haven't really seen it. Yeah, just go live and then test it and do it off so you're ready for 8 o'clock Central Time. I'm going to actually see the product. I mean, I've seen pictures of the product, but I'm going to actually see the product firsthand tonight when Back in the Game goes, when he's live and he does his breaks, which I'll be in or I'll be a part of. So, I don't know if baseball's on right now. Possibly, DD. There was games on earlier. So that's kind of part of what I'm saying. Like, get to know him better, get to know him a little. So here's the other thing I'm going to talk about a little bit, because this has a lot. What's up, Wicked? This has a lot to do with what I had gone through, or my addiction. Some people had recommended on Twitter that I watched The Pharmacist on Netflix. And I tell you what, you watch like the first episode, and it's about his son being murdered, or them saying he got killed, or whatever. And he investigates this whole thing, and it's insane. The dad was an actual pharmacist, like that's what he was. And he ends up, what's up, Chad? He ends up, the cops and them won't do anything. Like, they're pretty much just, don't step over our toes. We don't have anybody coming forth. And that's kind of how it was in the 9th Ward in Louisiana, where he was found dead, or his truck was found. He was found shot. And they're like, don't come forth, whatever. So his dad didn't give up. His dad actually would call, grab the phone book and call every resident that lived within, the 9th Ward. And he finally, the last call for one day, what's up, Dee? Appreciate that, man. $2. He's got the big lips. Def rules. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. He calls every single house. And, yeah, the 9th Ward. You know about that, Field Guy. I'm talking about The Pharmacist, the Netflix documentary. And the dad's calling every place. And he said that he went through a phone book. He didn't know how many places yes, exactly, Dee. What's up, Bamyo? He didn't know. He kept going, and it was one day, it was his last call. He was like, this is going to be my last call for the day. And he ended up calling the girl who actually witnessed the whole thing. She knew who the killer was. It was actually somebody that her family, or she was friends with the kid and the family. He actually walked by and even said to her, did you see that? And she at the time knew he wasn't going to do anything to her because they were actually friends. She would actually buy dope from him as well. Well, he ends up getting her to testify because she was an eyewitness. And they end up locking the dude up, and he goes to prison because he didn't give up. He was relentless. He didn't stop. Like, he would record every single conversation he had with every single person and everything, no matter where he went, what he did. So I kind of thought that was going to be the end of the whole thing, but I knew it was a series, and that was after episode 1, or 1 or 2. So I'm into, I don't know, the 3rd or 4th deal now. But he went back to working as a pharmacist, and he started realizing that OxyContin, he was seeing all these kids and people that looked like they were pretty healthy and didn't have problems, walking in and getting these big 40 milligram, 80 milligram OxyContin prescriptions, filled. And he started asking some of these people, and he would have his video, or his tape recorder in his pocket, so he'd record these conversations. And he'd be asking them, what did you, what's going on? Why do you need to take such a high dose of this pain? And he kept seeing the same amount of, milligrams. High milligrams. And a lot of this shit didn't need it. If you were taking a pain medicine, maybe you needed 5 milligrams or 10 milligrams. There were 40 and 60, or 40 and 80 milligram pills, Oxycontins, which, that's insane for, one dose. And he started investigating. And he called the FBI and told them about it. And they said, oh, we already kind of know what's going on. We got our eyes on it. Again, not really wanting to do much about it, saying they're investigating it, saying they got a camera on some corner in some street they're checking out. So then he found out that the lady, because he had the name and the information of who all these scripts were coming from. So then he started looking at, well, she bought some other location to do her practice at. So he took his wife and they took a video camera in the car, and they drove by at night, and this was like during the middle of the night. There would be cars. The parking lot would be full. It'd be people going in and out of this place getting prescriptions for these Oxycontins. And there was actually even a Louisiana police officer that would be watching the door, like for security. He knew exactly what was going on the whole time. And he finally got one of the kids that would come and get his prescription filled. He asked him to go in under more cover, do undercover for him, kind of whatever, because he was already a customer or client of this doctor. When they started looking at how many Oxycontins like this doctor had prescribed, and this was in like within a town or a community, 187,000 Oxycontin prescriptions, and I think it was with under a year or something. Like insane. And I'm not through it all, so I'm sure it's going to come to a point where she ends up going to prison or some shit. She for sure is going to lose her license. But you want to talk about, and then they go back looking at like the Purdue doctor, the guy or the college that actually created the Oxycontin for a higher, it'll last 12 hours, you'll be pain free. And their big sales pitch was they actually had a little pamphlet they had put in these things back in the day that would show that it was not as addicting as some other crap. Can you believe that? And I think about it, and this dad was doing this because his son got killed going to the Ninth Ward to buy dope because he got addicted to dope. And like they said in there, Oxycontin, pain pills, Percocet, all that shit. It's basically like a prescribed heroin. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what it is. And it's freaking, I know firsthand, it's super addicting. And I just couldn't believe, like, if I would have lived in Louisiana, if I would have been around the Ninth Ward, back then, and I was addicted at the time, I would have been in heaven. Like, this is a place that you and your buddies, if you're strung out on pills and hooked on pills, would be like, we gotta link up with this doctor. We gotta hook up with this doctor. Like, she's just gonna hook it up. And she would prescribe Oxycontin, Soma, and Xanax. The 3 combo. And every single person that went and saw her would get the same exact prescriptions. Like, just absolutely insane. And more insane that, like, this pharmacist was contacting the FBI, and they were saying, oh, yes, we know about it, but not really doing much about it. And all these overdose, like the overdose death rate just kept climbing. And every single one of them, the person that would be overdosed, would be linked to her prescribing them their medications. It's freaking insane. Yes, it's, $1 million lawyers, and that's just it. It's a business. And they actually bring in an interview a guy who went to work for the Purdue as a sales guy. He's like, well, they're making all this money. And he would tell them, like, they would be parked at pharmacies, in doctor's offices. They'd be like, hey, this drug, Oxycontin, and it's approved by the FDA. That was their little side thing to pull in to get the sales with these guys, to have them push them. And it's approved by the FDA. I mean, just freaking insane. Over 187,000 Oxycontins. And that's just within like a little area. One doctor. One flipping doctor. I bet no outside Louisiana knows where the fourth ward. No one outside. Yeah. Well, if you watch the thing I'm talking about, you would know where it is, because that's where they're at, and the guy lives right outside of there. Second time I've heard of this series in a couple days. Yes, man, I'm not, and there's a lot of detail involved in it. Like, you'll be shocked at how persistent this father is, or this dad is, like on the murder of his son who killed him. And what's crazy is the first information they ever get, because they put a $10,000 thing out. A bunch of people within the community came together and were like donating money so they could have a reward for information, but it had to lead to a conviction. That was the deal. So they didn't just pay anybody that came up and said, "Oh, I know something." It had to actually lead to an arrest, to a conviction. But the guy that actually originally came forward to the dad and said, "Oh, I'll help you out," and whatever, he actually ended up being the killer. He even confessed to his dad that he had been the one that sold to him previous. And then he said the night that he got killed, he saw it happen. He was riding a bike and he walked up and he saw a guy pull a gun on him, and he actually blamed it on a guy that was a well-known criminal in the area that had the nickname Scarface. Go figure. But then that lady came forward when he called and got a connection with her, and she's like, "No, I know who it is." And she's like, it's this guy Jeffrey, and that's who the kid was that originally at the time came and said that he was gonna help. He was gonna help his dad or whatever, get him arrested and find out who the killer is and bring justice for his son. So I may have to sue Netflix now. Yeah, you just might have to sue him there, Field Guy. What's up, Amio? How you been, brother? Just got update on Austin Hedges. Did you guys see our boy Jimmy decided to not go after the Superfractor Flaherty? Which, shout out to him, man. He what's up, SF Cards? Shout out to him, man. He's gonna use it for other things. Jim F says pills can be evil. When I blew my knee out, I took my Vicodin for 2 days at surgery. Took the rest to the drug. Man, that's awesome. I commend you, Jim F. Because that's exactly how people get addicted. It starts with an injury. You start taking them. You're like, "Oh, hey, I feel great," and then it's downhill from there. It sucks big time. I don't watch negative stuff about my state anyways. Well, there you go. What's up, Crazy? Hope you're well, man. Did you start up? I haven't had a chance. I've been too busy this week so far during the day with the work, but have you started streaming again during the daytime? Austin, what did Austin say? You were taking 20 milligram? Yes, Magnus. Yes, just so you guys know, some of you guys may have saw in the community tab, and also on Twitter I tweeted it. So I'm dropping the sub count for the 24-hour stream because I want to hit it. I want to get it pushed in gear, and I think it'll help once I get to that number to move things quicker. This will be given away now it's going to be 1,600 instead of 1,700 subs. And then I'm going to do the 24-hour stream as well at 1,600. So hopefully we're at like 1523 or 24 last I saw. So we are moving. We're moving in the right direction. I'm just trying to give a little extra kick in gear and hoping that we can get these probably within the next month or so. The next 75, 80 or so in the next month or two. And then, yes, we'll plan a date, and it will happen at 1,600 instead of 1,700. In what part of the cities do you live? For me, Card Closet, I live right outside of, about 15 miles outside of the Twin Cities, in the Eagan area, Eagan, Minnesota. All right, balls, appreciate you popping in, brother. Picked it up. Nice. Good deal, man. Chat, what's going on, brother? Got a small amount of new stuff. Cool, man. I'm excited to see where it goes and see what happens with it. So again, if you guys during the daytime, if you're at work, if you got some downtime, put something on in the background even. Crazy's back to doing his daily during the week, usually late morning or early afternoon stream where he'll sell off team lots and stuff. You can get some great cards, cheap cards. Get a bunch of cards for next to nothing. So make sure you guys are checking him out and hanging out with him. Tonight also, guys, what's up, Gorilla family? Tonight, not only Back in the Game will be live, Durango's got an actual break. He could probably post a link in here again that I think he's planning to do on Friday. I'm trying to grab a spot. If something's still around Friday, DD. I want to get in it with you. Yeah, for sure. All right, Isaac. Appreciate you, brother. So, BITG will be back tonight doing the new Heritage, whatever it is, the new baseball product. And then Buckeye Cardnut, who I think he had to leave the stream to test something because he doesn't have 1,000 subs, so he has to use an app, and he usually just records his videos and then uploads them. He's actually going live tonight to do his mail day, his weekly mail day. He was going to just record it, but I told him, I sent him a card, nothing big, but I want to see him open it live. So he's going to go on live 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you guys can check out Buckeye Cardnut as well, it should be a cool stream. He's not real familiar with live, and it probably won't be long. So you can have maybe BITG on one phone and a tablet or one on the computer. He'll probably be on for like half an hour max or something. He's just going to open some mail days. But I think it should be a good stream. I think it should be an awesome stream. So some in here might know why it could be awesome. But we're already 30 minutes in, man. Time goes fast. What you guys got any specific questions for me besides if I have Grey Poop on or what my favorite baseball team is? It could be anything. Anything. I know I got some great feedback from this last time about a week or two ago when we did it. I didn't really have a certain topic on for today, so I just figured why not do another Q&A? Anyone got anything for me? First card? That's a good question. Gorilla. Actually, that's funny. Underwear that I wear, men's underwear that I wear, that I prefer. I don't like American Eagle clothes, but I like American Eagle boxers. So it's primarily what I wear. First card that blew your mind when unpacked it. Probably the craziest card that's blown my mind when I've boxers. That when I've unpacked it was probably, to be honest with you, because it was the first Shield I ever pulled from Select Football. Way better. Was a Leonard Fournette Select Big Shield, Big Shield, 1/1. I actually pulled it when I was breaking a couple years ago. It was like one of the first 1/1 cards I pulled, but just crazy. Had like that Mojo refractor background. Had the big NFL patch. Was a 1/1. I pulled it for a guy, 616 Sports Cards. I don't know that he's even around anymore. He used to have a YouTube. He used to do breaks a couple years ago, like when I was breaking. But he got the spot for his son. And his son was like 7 or 8 years old at the time. And his son had to go to bed when I pulled it. And I actually swore. I was so excited when I pulled it. I swore and stuff. I'm like, let's go. And I had to apologize because he let his son watch it. He didn't care. His dad was like, no, that's awesome. He's like, he was so pumped. He's like, my son was basically in tears. He was so happy you pulled that card for him. You know, at the time, it was like a $500 card, $600 card. It's probably not. It's probably a $100 card now, $150 card. I mean, it's a Shield. So, man, it was crazy. Is Kirk Cousins that good a quarterback? I mean, he's not elite. But I would take him over. He'd be in my top 10. I'd take him over 22 other quarterbacks in the league. Definitely. I'm perfectly fine with him being on our squad. He continues to up his completion percentage. He throws for 4,000 yards a year. Sure. Perfectly fine. I mean, we've been in the playoffs. He made the playoffs last year. We got through the first round. I mean, that's all you can do, right? You're continuously trying to work to be a better team. I think he's perfectly fine. So, yeah, me swearing, right? Your first car was a Mark Burrell. Second was a Jeter. Nice. That's just it, Crazy. And that's what I wanted to cue on. Crazy has a perfect point. If Kirk Cousins didn't get murdered, if we had an actual good offensive line, we lost so many linemen throughout the year, our starters. If he actually had any kind of protection, imagine his completion percentage as it already is, him breaking completion percentage things for the franchises and this and that. He would be insane. He'd be throwing for 5,000 plus yards. He'd probably almost double up maybe his TD throws. And his interceptions would be even lower than they already are. So that's a perfect point. Perfect point. Couldn't say better, Crazy. I traveled more the more I realized I didn't want to study at A&M. Nice. That's not BS. It's not BS at all. What's BS? Dude, he had shit for protection. I'm not sure. Well, you don't watch the Vikes games, so you must just see the highlights. You got to actually watch the games, the Vikes games, to know. You saw the game, we played them, and that's it. But that's not BS. Crazy himself even said it. So, Stewie, what's up, brother? I never said he was the best. I said top 10. Never said he was the best. Putting words in my mouth, brother. Dallas's line made Aikman look good. Exactly. An offensive line makes a team good. The teams that are on top, that win, that dominate, that are usually good, have an elite offensive line. You can have a semi-good quarterback behind there. As long as he can throw a football and somewhat accurately, if you have a line that can block for you and you have the time that you need, or you have all the time in the world, absolutely. I mean, shit. That's all it takes. Hard to be elite when you're on your back staring at the dome roof, right? Exactly. But that's a good point, Jim F. Absolutely good point. What players are you chasing right now, Defness? So, I try to be more a homer guy. Yeah, that's okay though, Field Guy, because I don't even care if we keep Cook. Because I don't know if you watch like PFF or any of the guys that really dive into stats. The Super Bowl winning teams and the teams that have been successful, they haven't had elite running backs. Look at they have not had an elite. There's like one or two teams in the last like 10 years. It would be stupid for us to pay a bunch of money for Dalvin Cook when we have Matheson and we have frickin' Boone. Matheson is almost as good as Cook is. They're basically the identical running back. So yeah, I don't think we should spend a ton of money. I think you're perfectly right there. But that's where we're gonna be able to open up and get a better offensive line, and we're gonna be able to improve other places, and then that's all that's really gonna matter. Personally, so screen game and elite tight ends dominate the league the past few years. Yeah. Kels, George Kittle, absolutely right. I don't care if Diggs is gone, man. Diggs doesn't bother me being gone. Who cares? I don't care. But anyway. The guys that I'm chasing, primarily D'Angelo Russell, Michael Beasley, because they're on the Wolves now, both of them. Those are the main guys. I'll always I'll always get. I won't go out of my way to get like Karl Anthony Towns cards, but obviously Cat, um, Jared Culver. I mean, any of the young guys, Culver, the rookie, um, baseball, Mitch Garver. I'll probably have to go get a Josh Donaldson rookie card now that he's on the Twins. Um, there's not really, players in the NFL move around so much, so I don't typically always have. I'll just say whoever's on the Vikings when they're on the Vikings, but it's not anything that I make a priority as far as my personal PC. So, screen game, yeah, that's right. Looked into getting a Zion Prism rookie in PSA 10. Oh, a couple other guys that I do like in the NBA for PCing is Kevin Porter Jr. for the Cavs and Darius Garland. I think Garland's so underrated. I think he's going to be a very, very, very good point guard. Whether he stays in Cleveland or goes somewhere else in the next couple of years, which I think would be a good thing for him if he went somewhere else in the next couple of years and actually got some run. So, if I have Donaldson, oh, awesome, Big Harv. I appreciate that, brother. If you could have only one sport to watch, what would it be and why? Man, that's a really, really, really good question because I would have different answers to why I like each different sport. Like for baseball, I love my Twins. I love being able to go out in the spring and summertime and go to games at Target Field, especially when the weather's beautiful. Hell, we go there when it's cold, when the weather changes unexpectedly in Minnesota, and it's 45 degrees, and it's supposed to be 60, 70 degrees out. We'll go and put gloves on and whatever and sit out in the stadium. But I love those spring, summer days, nights at the ballpark. And I love baseball. I love them all so equally, though. That's a tough question. Vikings, love going to U.S. Bank Stadium. Just the atmosphere, the environment. I've always been big into football. Played football all the way up through high school. Baseball, I quit when I was in like 8th, 9th grade to focus on football. And then basketball, again, I don't know. This year so far, I've probably been to more Wolves games this year than I have any other. Like, I go to a lot of Twins games too. And I've probably been to more Wolves games this year as things are changing, getting D'Angelo Russell, Beasley, bringing more excitement. I mean, I know that just happened a little while ago, but we would go to games regardless how good we are. Good or bad. Me and the kids enjoy doing it. So it's really a tough thing to say one. I would say probably baseball because ultimately here in Minnesota, spring, summer are my favorite seasons because I think it's just so beautiful here. And then we got to go through the dreadful, depressing fall and winter. But I would say baseball. Baseball would be the one. I love hanging out at Target Field. The game is not, in general, like if you're at home, the game is not as fun, and that's why I'm pretty much balanced throughout all of them. The game is not as fun to watch if you're at home as I feel basketball is or football. So, baseball has always been number one for me. Yeah, I mean, that's, for a lot of people, I think it has. It's just, I enjoy the game so much differently being at the ballpark than watching it on TV. And I wish they would speed the game up of baseball a little bit more. It is getting better. It is getting faster. They are trying to implement rules where people aren't sitting there for seems like a half an hour in between pitches, etc. But I've been to Twins. What's up, Camden? I've been to a Twins AAA opening day in Carthens during a snowstorm. Yeah, isn't that crazy? That's how it is, man, and it's even how it is here. We could have it could be baseball season time. We could be at Target Field, and there could be almost like ice, sleety type crap coming down because it's so cold and it's trying to rain, but it's actually like sleeting or snowing. Baseball is the only sport I've ever been able to get into. And you know what? For some people, that's just it. I think if you, Austin, I think if you gave it a little time, like basketball or football, you might find yourself liking it. Shout out to Tom T. He got away from enjoying basketball or whatever for a while, and then he got into these basketball cards. What's going on, Alan? And he got into these basketball cards, and now he says he's all back into it. He loves watching it. He loves keeping up. And I think that helps when you collect. If you collect more than just baseball or basketball or football, I think it helps to kind of be involved and know what's going on with players and guys. New rule this year will help. Yes, incoming pitchers must face at least 3 batters before they can change again. Yeah, that's just it, man. At the end of those games, especially playoffs, every single batter. How many commercials you got to go through and watch. It's just crazy to me. I kind of like basketball. Just never like football. Yeah, well, maybe start trying to watch a little more basketball, You might enjoy it, And if you're not really a fan, whether if you have a team where you're at or you don't, a pro team, or if there's just, you never really been a fan, you could adapt or like a different team. Find a team or players that you think you might like and run with it. And just try to keep up with it. You don't have to watch them all the time. Check your score apps or whatever apps you use for scoring. See how people are doing. If it's adopted, that is, it's being tested. Yeah. And here's the other thing I don't understand. And I'm sure it's coming. I know they've been talking about it. Why can't, the strike zones and things like that, why can't that all be electronic? I mean, they'd still have to have refs or umpires, I guess, in the baseball. They'd still have to have umpires there. What's up, Bolton? But why couldn't they do, for the actual pitching and stuff, why couldn't they do, electronic strike zone? The way thing is nowadays with technology, you think they'd be able to do that. So, do you think they're overproducing product? I do, but at the same time, a good person to watch a video would be the Card Hobbyist. He was actually in here earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but he actually did a breakdown of all of top Series 1 baseball. And it was, are they overproducing? And he actually goes through all the numbers, with the different odds of what you can hit certain cards. And it's actually pretty interesting. Check his channel out if you haven't already and watch it because it's pretty cool. He kind of breaks it down. So, I prefer the human error of the umpire on ball. Yeah, but at the same time, if it could be, 100% consistent, how cool would that be? I think it would be cool. I never really enjoyed basketball since Seattle lost their team. Yeah, I get that, man. If you lose a team, it's got to be absolutely tough. It'd be difficult. If we lost the Wolves and we didn't get another basketball team, I would be the same way for a while. I'd probably be like, F NBA, screw you guys, you took my team, whatever. But I'm such a fan. All right, cool, Buckeye. I'm excited. So you're going to be live in about an hour and 15 minutes. BITG should be live here in about half hour, 45 minutes, but I'm going to make sure I have you on when you go live, and then I'll pop back in BITG for sure. But let me know. Are you are you going to plan for exactly 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time? Okay. And you already tweeted it out, so people on Twitter already know. Did you share your link to your channel when you did that other tweet? I don't remember. You might want to post another, go onto your channel. And you can either copy and paste, when you go to your channel, because it should give you a link, or there's a little tab on the top corner if you're on your phone and you're in your channel, my channel, and there's a share option. You can copy the link and then go on Twitter and say, oh, by the way, here's my YouTube channel. This is where I'll be live at 9 p.m. Eastern time or something. So what's up? This the breaks? This the breaks. Buckeye Cardinal. Well, BITG is going live probably in 15 minutes or a half an hour or whatever. But then Buckeye Cardnut's going to go live too at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. He's going to do a live mail day, and his mail days are always epic. So he's going to do one live this time. What's up, sports kids? The worst part of the night is tonight. Oh, for the cuts? Yeah, I got you, sports kids. I think the A&G Chrome will ruin it. I love that because it reminds me of the vintage set. Yeah. I get the A's and Sharks are my only home teams, and I'm a fan of the Lakers. Yeah, see? And that's the thing. Like, even if you don't, or, sometimes I hear people say, I hear some fans of, like, a sport or something, or they want to be a fan of a sport, but they go, I'm just not a fan of my team. Well, if you've never really been adapted to a fan of a certain team for a certain sport, you can always change who you like if you want to. Just don't be the person that changes every year to whatever team is the best. Like do the bandwagon swap every year. You don't want to be that person. But find a team from another city, state, and adapt to it. If you like somebody, or maybe you follow a player, maybe you watch more college than you do pro. You follow a certain college player, wherever they get drafted to, and you don't have a team, adapt that team. A lot of times in football, I always have my Vikings, but me and my son, always try to pick beginning of the season. We try to pick an AFC team we root for as well. So we kind of want the Vikes and whoever, but we pick another AFC team to root for as well. And we pick it right at the beginning of the year. And, he'll ask me or I'll ask him, so what team in the AFC do you like this year? And then we tell each other. And then we give each other crap if they're not doing good or they don't do what they're supposed to. If they're making, it's going to be a long season for yeah, it is going to be a very long season for Astros fans. Austin, yes, you are a dedicated Yankee fan. If they're making more, why are they charging double? I realize supply and demand, but really almost double making. I don't know, man. It's how things go. As the years go on, cost goes up. Cost for everything goes up. I don't really have an answer for you on that. I love my university programs. That's cool, man. That's good, Austin. What up, Paulie? I'm a Red Wings fan, all because of one player. Yzerman, nice. I've always been an Atlanta fan, but root for all Florida teams in the Rockies. That's awesome. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. There's always plenty of room on the Dolphins bandwagon at this point. Yeah. And me, what's crazy with me is that, I ultimately have my teams, but I also, me doing so much DFS, my players who I'm rooting for are constantly changing, right? Because I want to win. I want to win in DFS. I don't want to lose. So that goes for NBA. And I think that's a little different for me, too, than maybe some other people, is I play DFS pretty much in every sport. So I kind of always have a general sense of how people are doing stat-wise anyway. You know what I mean? I don't get to watch all the games. I try to watch what I can. I watch my Wolves. Like I watch my Wolves tonight while I'm watching the streams that are going to be on. But I'm constantly checking stats, seeing how my players are doing. And I kind of get a good idea. And then when I'm building lineups, like for basketball, let's say, when I start building lineups for tomorrow, which are going to change before tomorrow night's slate starts, I kind of remember or have a gauge of how they've been playing, how well they played. Sometimes I remember how well they played the game the last time they played this team, and how did the dynamic of the team change, how did the dynamic of the other team change. So I root for Texans. So Austin, everybody, hope you're doing well, Paulie. There are some teams I like just because of one or two players on the team. Yeah, and that's just it. You don't always have to necessarily like the team either. You can like players. Like, it's up to you how you want to go about it being a sports fan, You write your own book. You run your own rules for that. But that's just like for me. Like, on any given week, I'm a fan of certain... Like, I don't really like Sam Darnold, but The week I think he's in a great matchup. I think he's under-owned. I put him in a DFS lineup. You better bet I'm a Sam Darnold Jets fan for that week. But I'm not going to be a lifelong. But I like them because of Breeze. Yeah, man. I've never tried baseball. I've heard it's a lot of... Yeah, the season-long stuff is long. I do daily, so I do DFS, so... my lineup would change, my team dynamic, my team and everything would change every single day. You're not stuck or glued to guys. You draft a guy high in season long and he gets hurt like I did with my basketball this year, which I should have never done. I should have quit playing that because I do DFS and I pay more attention to that. But Steph Curry, who I didn't already like anyway, but he was like the best option at my pick, he gets hurt right away, you know? He's going to be out all year. Don't be a lifelong Jets fan. Trust me, it sucks. Paulie says, right? Dream job for Yankees. All right, man. Well, we're approaching. Do you guys got any other questions for me? We're almost approaching an hour. This time flies when we're on here, man. It's crazy. Just ask if I'm going to the Jets game first. I've never seen them win a game at home. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's gotta be tough, Stewie. Gotta be tough, brother. Man. If I was you, I would for sure make sure that I could be playing DFS so I could root for a lot of different players and a lot of different teams every week. And that's what's cool about DFS as well as fantasy season long. When you play it, if your team doesn't do good, you are disappointed if they lose whatever. But your week isn't over yet if you still got games going on. Like if your team plays at noon this week, you still got all your guys in your lineups to root for the 3 o'clock, the Sunday night game if they're in it, or a Monday night game. That's what I love. Whenever I get hired as a scout, you get free... Oh, man, you're the best, Austin. I'll be looking for that, dude. I'm going to hold you up to that. You guys have anything else for me before I sign off? And then... Like I said, BITG will be live shortly with Heritage, the new Heritage breaks. Check it out if you haven't already. I don't know. They might be sold out already, but go to bitgbreaks.com. Check him out. And then Buckeye Card Nut. Make sure you guys, you can have 2 streams on. Hopefully you have 2 devices or a computer and a phone. Or use your wife's phone or kid's phone or girlfriend's phone. Make sure you guys support Buckeye Card Nut when he goes live at 8 o'clock. He's just going to do probably a half an hour or so video live, but he's going to go through mail days. But you guys are going to want to be there. Because I just have a feeling the way he gets things and what he buys, it's going to be epic like it is every single week. Like he has insane cards he gets for his PCs. And he's going to do this one live. He's doing it live for me, he said, for some reason. Just because I sent him a silly card. It's not anything big. But I know there's something else crazier that's probably going to be something he picked up. So, the extra game will be only happening if the collective bargaining with players' reps. Could happen, could not. Just game of, yeah, awesome, guys. He'll be on it. He'll be on in just about an hour. So, 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern time, he will be live. As long as he can get it to work. Because he has never done live through his YouTube, but he's figuring it out right now. All right, guys, if you don't have anything else for me, we are approaching the 1 hour mark. Again, guys, I'm getting super excited for the In-Depth with Deafness. I'm also getting excited to get to 1,600 supporters, friends, you guys, so we can do this 24-hour stream so we can give that card away and give a bunch of other stuff away and have a blast. We're going to do another epic one. It's going to go down. It's going to be insane once we hit that number. And don't forget, when we hit 1,550, there's double incentives in all this stuff on our road to 1,600. 1,550, we still got 2 optic blasters and 2 $50 credits. One for BITG and one's going to go somewhere else. I'm still deciding where it's going to go. But that'll be part of the 1,550. And we're only about 25 away or so from there. So until next time, friends, family, don't forget to smile. Don't forget 1,000 views. Yeah, it does. Don't forget to try to do something special for somebody. Try to make somebody's day. And I love y'all. Don't ever forget that. Peace.